What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's your host, Wolf and Dog here. And today, we're going to be just talking about random things. We're going to start this conversation off with Revelations, Black Ops 3 DLC 4 Salvation. So, the Easter egg dough.
Yeah, well, the Easter egg hasn't really been solved yet, and it's been like 50, 60 hours since it came out. Pretty shocking, since that like Noah J and all them are running out there trying to get all the Easter eggs done as fast as possible.
Even NGT Zombies is like binging out Revelations right now to get that Easter egg going.
I heard rumors that freaking Call of Duty or Activision put a block on the DLC for 72 hours, and if that's the case, a lot of people are going to be really upset about that. What do you think about that?
Well, to me, I think it's the reason why they're doing it is because of the sheer fact of the Easter eggs are being solved really, really quick. Every Easter egg that's been released in Black Ops 3 has been solved just like that. And even Shadows of Evil, they weren't expecting everybody to find the Easter egg for Shadows of Evil as quick as they did.
Yeah,
they had to separately release those.
Yeah, on Shadows of Evil, it took about roughly a week to get every single step done and find pretty much everything in the game. And then, do you know what Blundell did that I can't believe to Noah J? Upgraded the Apothicon Servant? Not anywhere in sight. Waited all the way until DLC 4 to release that.
Oh, I know. That's terrible for people. No joke. The Apothicon Servant is extremely overpowered. Especially when it's upgraded.
But you know what they did in DLC 4? They nerfed it.
They nerfed it?
They dropped down to 20 shots to 14 shots.
Yeah, I heard it. I saw that. The one thing I'm glad about DLC 4 is that they brought back, all the old maps, starting from Nocturne and Toten, where it all began. And I love the quotes that they say, when they go into each place. I feel like I've been here before. It's just kind of... The nostalgia kicks in for people who have been playing in the Zombies community forever.
Do you know what I really like about this new Revelations map, though? Is the new mask. It's like the God mask. You get 10 hits, and then the 11th hit you go down, and then you have longer sprint. Imagine that, though. High round to round 200 and all that. Mm-hmm. Couple hits, you pull out the Apothicon Servant, and boom, all the zombies gone. You're like... It must be really easy to get the high rounds on this new map, though.
Right. But I have noticed one thing about the new maps and the DLCs and stuff like that. That none of the maps that Sorry, let me restart. Every map is featured besides the maps that don't incorporate the main four characters. Nikolai, Dempsey, Takeo, and Richthofen. If it doesn't concern those four characters, none of the maps were incorporated into Revelations. Because Buried, then you had Buried, Green Run. The only one that is incorporated is Mob of the Dead. That's the only one, now that I think about it. But anybody about the Green Run crew, or even the Call of the Dead crew, or the 5 politicians aren't in there. And I don't.
What do you feel about Moon? Why was Moon not added? Any part of Moon? Because in Der Eisen, you see the moon explode.
Again.
What's the chances of you seeing the Shadow Man go and take a part of the moon or something? Well, yeah, the MPD device, I think it's called, right?
Yeah.
That's added in Der Eisen, but that's not the same because that only happens at the end of Der Eisen Easter egg. But when you go back into Revelations, into the Der Eisendrache area, it's not the MPD, it's the regular low-gravity pyramid.
Right, yeah.
So what part, when would Moon be added?
I have no idea. Moon, I don't know. You would think that Moon would be at least added, even maybe just the Area 51 part or whatever. I think it was Area 51. I think that's what they said in the story. But
yeah, I think it was Area 51.
But you would think that they would add some part of Moon just because that was the ending of the Black Ops 1 series.
I know they brought back Origins because that was the ending of Black Ops 2 and also the start of the final story.
Yeah, it was the start of 3. But what are your thoughts on Monty, or Dr. Monty?
I feel like Dr. Monty is like the god of the universes. Like, he is in control of everything. So but then, like, he can't control the evil part of it, though. So he can control, like, he can, like I think there's a quote in there saying, I can only do something that's in your universe already. Like the perk things. The perks. Perks were added, like, they were made, and then Monty put a twist to them and, like, made them his own by giving him better things.
Right,
like, the drug from Black Ops 1 and 2 isn't the same as Black Ops 3. I think there's slight differences in all of them. Because I know stamina, you run longer.
Quick Revive, doesn't that... Yeah, that definitely speeds up how fast you pick up a person. Because if you think back into, like, Black Ops 2, even if you had Quick Revive, it seemed a little longer than what it is now, because now, even though that it tells you how long you have, it was really quick.
Do you know what I don't like, though? In Black Ops 2, they had persistent perks, you know.
Oh, well, yeah.
Quick revive, faster boards being built. PhD. Deadshot, a few other ones.
Yeah,
why didn't they bring those back into Black Ops 3?
Well, of course, they brought back PhD Flopper as a Gobblegum, which, in my opinion, I wish they would have brought PhD Flopper back as a perk, only because of the fact that being a Gobblegum, it only lasts 3 rounds. Being a perk, you can last longer than 3 rounds with a perk than you could with that or whatever, if you're using, let's say, the ray gun or something that's going to explode and you get damage from it. But, like, I just think that, to me, even you don't have to have the whole flopping part where the nuke. It's just the fact that it's explosive damage. You're resistant to explosive damage. That's why I think that it should have been a perk and not a Gobblegum.
Well, I think that's also... I think you just pointed that out a little bit. What happens with the dolphin diving? Because dolphin diving was a specialty with PhD Flopper to make the little explosion that killed zombies. Right. How would that go from sliding? Would it just turn into slaughter slide?
I mean, it could, because you got to think. The PhD, when you jumped off and you did a dolphin dive or whatever, you had the explosion. The slaughter slide, when you slide, it causes explosions either way. So I think that how they would ended up interpreting that would be that instead of dolphin diving, you would slide and then it launched the rockets. But I think that would be a little overpowered, only because I would think that they would end up making a way to slide into those DMs. I don't know. Yeah. But, I mean, I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. I mean, because you slide all the time and you'd end up launching rockets all the time. So I think there'd have to be like a recharge. That's what I was going to say. Sorry.
So kind of like Electric Cherry has. Like, you can only reload like 4 or 5 times before
it like stops.
Like, you can't shoot a bullet, reload, and keep doing it, because then it just stops electrifying your reloads for like a short period of time, like 15, 20 seconds. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure that's to stop people from like glitching, like going into like an area where you can't get hit, but like the Electric Cherry still works. You can't just shoot once, reload, and save ammo, and technically try to go for infinite rounds. Which I'm pretty upset that they... No, I wouldn't say upset. I'm pretty glad that they keep adding all these hot fixes to fix all these maps, because it's not really fun when you go play like an online match with some people on zombies, and it's just like, it's Advanced Warfare all over again on freaking like that raid map or whatever. Everyone's trying to run up onto the vent to get inside the building so they can use the stupid quantum thing to kill people. What is that called?
Oh, the quantum, the EM1 or something
like that? The EM1 quantum.
The laser thing that was...
the rainbow lasers. Woohoo!
Yeah, if you got the other variants, you can call them the rainbow lasers.
Speaking of Advanced Warfare, I haven't played Advanced Warfare since DLC 4 dropped for that.
Oh yeah, we haven't played that since that, because we ended up doing the Easter egg for the zombies, and that was a challenge. I'll admit that was a challenge, but I'll have to admit, Advanced Warfare, honestly, can't believe I'm actually saying this myself, wasn't too bad of a game. Now that I go back and actually look at it, it wasn't that bad for a concept, like for the concept of it and everything. They could have performed it just slightly bit better, yes. The zombies could have been performed a lot better, but I've been feeling the urge to actually go back and play it lately.
You know, for me, after completing Ghosts, I don't ever want to go back to that game, but I want to go back and play all the Extinctions. Because I grew up and I didn't have the DLC for Extinction, so I only played the first map. I want to kind of go through and see what every single map is like. Yeah, I saw NGT Zombies go and play it, but that's not the same as playing it for yourself. Right. The experience isn't there.
I played the first map too. How I felt about Aliens, I wasn't too sure, but it's just, to me, it seems like everyone wants a piece of whatever Treyarch has got, because Treyarch started with zombies, and then Infinite Warfare decided, oh, hey, let's go Aliens. And then all of a sudden, Advanced Warfare is just like, let's drop some zombies. So they ended up doing zombies, and now that Infinite Warfare's Aliens didn't apparently go so well, they're dropping zombies as well. But to me, the new Spaceland zombies, to me, it's not the greatest looking. I mean, the fact that they have 50 Cent in it, I mean, that's not a bad thing, but it's just, it looks too weird, and they look like they're trying to compete really hard with Treyarch's zombies. Speaking of, like, Treyarch zombies and stuff like that, I'm going to talk about how we're going to update our channel and everything. And what's been going on with that. We've been taking kind of like a brief hiatus because everyone lately, for some reason, has been getting sick. One person will get sick, and then the next person after that will get sick. Currently, Nick kind of has the stages of bronchitis, or dog here, sorry, has the stages, or the final stages of bronchitis. He's feeling better, but I accidentally ended up giving my pregnant mother like a really bad common cold. She hates me for it right now, but we've been taking a brief hiatus from everything, and so what we're gonna do is we're gonna end up having our friends Ricky and Charles kind of join the channel as well, only occasionally. Ricky ended up getting an Xbox, and so he can end up playing with us now. But for now, they're going to be whatever their gamer tags are, but we're all planning to change our names. I've already changed mine to Nuclear Wolf. Nick over here, or Dog, he's going to end up changing his. Ricky's going to change his, and so is Charles. Nick, do you want to say what your name's going to be?
My name is going to become Nuclear Dragon, because, dragons are an extinct creature, to say, the mythological creature that apparently is in the term of gods, and people say that gods, like the dragons, represented different types of gods, which I'm not going to associate myself with being a god, because I'm totally not a god.
And he also kind of sucks at gaming.
Okay, alright, so this guy over here, freaking Black Ops 3, going like 22 and 23, and then there's me over here going 58 and like 13, and he's like, alright, I suck though.
Oh yeah, at least I admit it. Like, he doesn't suck to an extent, but at certain games, yes, he does. But Call of Duty, no. But maybe a little bit now because of the sheer fact of him being sick and him not actually playing Call of Duty. But Ricky, I'm going to announce the names of Ricky and Charles when they eventually get onto the channel, when they change their names. Ricky's name, we had to help him pick his name. His is going to be the Nuclear Angel. And then Charles, we preserved his name because he likes the Grim Reaper and stuff like that. So we ended up calling him Nuclear Death. So we have a dragon, a wolf, death, and angel. So we got life and death, and then 2 animals. So we're the animals of the group, I guess you could say.
Hoorah.
Hoorah! And speaking of channel updates and stuff, currently I'm in a digital art design class in my school, and I'm currently working on a logo for our channel, and it's not going too well, but I'm currently fixing it. We're discussing on what it is. But speaking of school, today was god awful with the 9/11 ceremony. We had our 9/11 ceremony here on Friday because of dumb reasons, but we're not going to be in school when the 9/11 or when 9/11 comes in. But anyhow, I was so furious with how our generation is nowadays. It just really infuriated me about what happened. Like, the first thing that happened, we had a bunch of mentally handicapped kids behind us. And of course, being who I am, I don't make fun of or anything because my dad worked in a nursing home. So he ended up taking care of people like that. So I'm used to it. But freshman girls, this group of freshman girls in front of me were being the most disrespectful people I could ever think of. They were laughing at the mentally handicapped kids that were sitting there making noises, and they can't help it. And they also started being disrespectful to our principal because he ended up he started breaking down crying about the whole 9/11 ceremony, and I get it. 9/11 is a very emotional topic. But then on top of it, during the moments of silence, they were taking selfies and stuff like that. And I ended up discussing this with my mom earlier, and she's just like, well, think of it like this. Every generation has their tragedy. My mom's tragedy was 9/11. My mom's generation's was 9/11. My grandparents, theirs was JFK in Vietnam. Their parents before, our great-grandparents, theirs was Pearl Harbor and stuff like that during World War II. So for them, they don't. My mom said that the freshmen in your guys' generation really wouldn't understand because of the fact that we've never really had a tragedy. I guess you could say we've helped people with a tragedy because I guess you could say we all did the whole France thing when they had the bombing, and when they had a memorial for us for 9/11, we had a memorial day for them. But yeah, I just feel like our generation's going to crap with how disrespectful everyone's becoming. It really gets me heated about that. But let's kind of go on to more happier things. And let's talk about Battlefield 1 instead of Call of Duty right now.
Battlefield 1 comes out sometime in October. Don't remember.
It comes out the week early edition comes out the 13th of October. And back kind of to the channel update as well, we're also going to be doing, we're going to be doing I'm going to be getting it for my birthday, and we're going to be doing a video on it. So, what did you think of the beta, by the way?
Beta was fun. There was a lot of glitches in it, I saw, though. You see, a lot of people, with the train. Mm-hmm. A lot of people could jump on the train or something. It was a weird glitch. You could bayonet charge into the train and you became invincible and you never could die. There was a lot of glitches, but you have to remember that's also a beta. You were helping them find the glitches and making the game better as one. Think about Advanced Warfare, Black Ops 3, Black Ops 2, any Call of Duty really. They were all glitchy in the beginning, Advanced Warfare, server connection sucked completely.
Oh, yeah, that was extremely bad. The first day that Advanced Warfare dropped, not even the beta, the first day that Advanced Warfare dropped, I was sick that day. I had such a bad sickness, I was shivering, to death. I was hot and cold at the same time, and the servers were so bad, I remember I had to just get off.
Yeah, back to that, though, a lot of games have it like that. No Man's Sky was like that. The connection to the server sucked. Trying to upload planets and all that, and No Man's Sky was a nightmare because nothing really loaded. Mm-hmm. That's another game. Minecraft, when Minecraft launched, everything was all blocked.
That's kind of surprising because you'd think that if everything's going to go to pixels,
right,
pixel game.
But I don't understand that. You go run counters for a freaking 300 frames. Jump Minecraft, it's 100 frames. It's all pixels. What is this? I don't know. It's
just the rendering distance and everything. You got to load more pixels than there needs to be.
Yeah, it's what's the I don't understand computers nowadays. Back then, it was a lot easier. You got a graphics card, you got a motherboard, you got storage, you got all this stuff, right? Now it's you need a GTX 1080 with freaking 64 gigs of RAM to run Minecraft. You need freaking 8 gigs of RAM to run Minecraft at an okay rate.
Okay, not just not like, oh yeah, this runs perfectly fine on my Xbox. No, to where like you still lag.
Speaking of game hype, though, I am super freaking hyped for some Ark Survival. I am
extremely hyped for Ark Survival.
I am waiting for that game to come out. Like I'm waiting for the full release, though.
We've been playing a little bit of the game preview on Xbox. Because I don't have a PC to play it, but Nick could play it on the PC. But we're waiting for that full game because we want to see what it's like. And I've been kind of playing it here and there, but waiting for the game to come out. Just kind of get used to it again.
Trying to see what the new updates are like. I like the new. I like mods for the Ark Survival. You look up the channel King Daddy DMac. He has a Anaki Genesis mod that adds like god dragons and certain like different types of things, which just makes the experience just so much fun. Like. The default game, it's kind of like Minecraft. Minecraft's better with mods. It adds more experiences.
Yeah, and especially like Tech It and like Feed the Beast stuff. Like, it just, there's something about playing mods that makes it a lot more fun than vanilla, because currently, like, I'll play Minecraft occasionally, and it gets so boring to the fact where I just won't play it for like months and months and months, because it just... I know if I go back to the map, it just completely bores me. Like, it just sucks. But, also, speaking of, upcoming games hype, I found out recently that next year we're gonna be dropped another Saints Row game. But, most people won't know it's a Saints Row game. That's the sad part. I found out that the next Saints Row game is gonna be called Agents of Mayhem. And my friend Charles, we both like the Saints Row game. So does Nick. We just, I love this series. Once it hit the fourth one, I kind of started to lose interest in it, but that's understandable. But this new one threw everyone off with it. Like, ask Nick. I showed him the trailer for it, and he was just like completely baffled of how different the game is. Like,
I didn't even think it was a Saints Row game to the end, and it showed the Saints logo. I'm like, oh, it's a Saints Row game. I'm like, all right.
Right. Like, apparently this takes place, like, after one of the endings of Saints Row Got Out of Hell. The ending with, where God recreates Earth and turns all the saints into police. Like, how do you feel about not being able to customize your own character in Saints Row?
Isn't that game, like, after, like, the second one, isn't that pretty much based off of customizing your character?
Even in the first one, you customize.
Yeah, but you really have them as that limited.
You have very limited, yes, but you were still able to customize it to an extent. The only problem you couldn't customize was the fact that your character stayed a male character in the first one. You couldn't change genders in that.
Well, back then, really, gender-specific things weren't really a thing. Nowadays, what Saints Row, the new one, is going to have, like, 9,000 genders?
Well, no, the new one is going to be, like, you can't customize your own character, you can't, like, customize what you wear, that I know of. I don't know about the wearing part, but you play as, like, 12 new characters, and the way the graphics look, the way the cinematics were, I thought... My buddy Charles thought of Battleborn. He instantly thought it was like Battleborn. Nick, what'd you think it was like at first?
It reminded me of like some of the Telltale games.
Oh, the cinematics for Telltale games, but I don't see that. But the first thing I thought when I saw it was the cinematics for like Overwatch and stuff, but a little more with like Borderlands feel as well.
You know what it kind of reminded me of? It kind of reminded me of like the Ruby kind of style, like the action style.
Like the smoke effects in the thing. Yeah, it had a Ruby style from Rooster Teeth. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I don't know how I feel about this new Saints Row game. I understand that Volution and Deep Silver felt the need to try to reboot the Saints Row series, but I'm not sure how I'm liking the reboot, because usually when they say reboot, you go back to the roots. You go back to where it all began, not something completely different. Not to mention that this game is also highly in the future, like flying cars, people coming down in spaceships and everything. Like, it's ridiculous.
Talking about game reboots, actually not even game reboots, more of a start back up. I heard Jak 4 is coming out soon. Like, I saw some like teaser art and some like trailer teasers and all that.
I'm excited for Jak 4 if they do drop it, but I don't think it's going to be by Naughty Dog because Naughty Dog was the original creators of Jak, and it's just Naughty Dog hasn't been doing so hot in the gaming development.
They did make The Last of Us though.
That was their save. That was their redemption. That was their saving faith.
So if they
were
Jak,
still losing money.
That is true.
They were still. It was enough to keep them going, but I'm not sure how Naughty Dog is right now.
Like they could be out of business right now. I don't know because I don't stay up with all my I know Activision won't go out of business. They made way too many games for them to go out of business.
Activision, no offense, they make great Call of Duty games, but they are great money whores. And how this is seen is because Marvel Ultimate Alliance, when that reboot or the remastered versions was dropped, everyone wanted their money back instantly because they confirmed with everybody that they were going to drop all the original DLC characters that they got rid of off the marketplace when they were to remaster the games and they were going to release them. Nobody got any of the DLC. Everybody wanted to get rid of the game after that for some reason. Also, not just because of the DLC, it was also because of bug glitches and stuff. It was so bad, it was barely playable. And I want to get it now because they fixed all those bug glitches and they also dropped all the DLC for both games. And one of my favorites to play as in the first one was always Hawkeye. I loved playing as Hawkeye.
I don't have a favorite Marvel character. I don't have a favorite character for a lot of things.
Deadpool.
Well, Deadpool is a good character, but you have to remember, I grew up on a variety of everything. I
grew up on comics in general.
I feel like Marvel is a better comic standpoint, but people also say DC has a better standpoint. It's just I grew up more on Marvel than DC. A lot of games, I play a lot of games. I grew up on Sonic Adventures Battle 2 or something. And then,
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, the one where you were run around.
And you had to race chows and all that. That was a great game. I own it on the 360. But it's a fun game. But all those games I grew up on, they all canceled the series on. So all my games I grew up on aren't a thing anymore.
Crash Bandicoot, that series got canceled only because Naughty Dog isn't making money off of Crash anymore. Their last two games bombed. They did. Mind Over Mutant and Crash of the Titans.
Dude, their last 6
Those were
crashes.
sequels. Twist Insanity was alright. Twist Insanity was the one where you have to work with Cortex and use Cortex as a hammer.
Well, any game for the DS crashed by Naughty Dog. You have to remember that. So, they had 7 Crash games for the Game Boy and all that.
Right.
Which all crashed. The only really good ones were for the PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, and PlayStation 3.
Another good series, I feel they have to, it's not dead. The community's still wanting it, but it's technically dead right now. Another good series is the Legacy of Kain games. And those are PlayStation exclusive games. Those games have a great story, great background, and they, I think it was Square Enix. They took on after Crystal Dynamics or whatever, the ones who made the original Tomb Raider and everything. And so they took on Tomb Raider, the remake of Tomb Raider, and now that they were going to do another Legacy of Kain. Problem is that they say that the video game was done, but they ran out of budget to pay people to finish the game. And you can even find videos of gameplay for it. It was called Legacy of Kain Dead Sun. It was a pretty beast-looking game. But, alright, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to hop off here, and we're going to just have fun. Alright.
Right now, I have a quick question for all of you.
Oh.
In the comments below, write down your favorite video game your favorite character and why. I would love to see what you guys put there. Because
also, if you have any topics you want to talk about, put it in the comments below too.
Well, I also want to do a quick shout out. We have a good friend, Varieties, or Jordan. We play with him a lot. Well, he's in college now, but his channel link is going to be in the top of the description. So go check him out. He makes some good Call of Duty commentaries. But in the meantime, I'm signing off here. You got anything to say?
No, I'm good right now.
All right. In the meantime, like, share, subscribe, and have a good one.